change is something that needed to happen here in LA for the Chargers, and that's exactly what they did by going out, hiring former Michigan head coach, but also former Chargers quarterback Jim Harbaugh to a contract, but also Jim Harbaugh had to fill out his staff. Now, the first order of business, we need an OC, right? They go out, bring in one of his former offensive coordinators in Greg Roman, but also this is where things get interesting. They bring in former defensive coordinator for Michigan, Jesse Minter. And if you guys know anything about Jesse Minter, he knows what he's doing when it comes to defense. Now, in this video, I want to kind of show you guys who Jesse Minter is, what he brings to this team, as well as how I think he will affect this Chargers defense going into next season, but also his future here in LA. So how about you guys do me a favor real quickly before we jump in to this new look staff here in LA. Comment down below the number 1 if you think this coaching staff is built up the way it needs to be, and comment down below the number 2 if you think Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers will absolutely shock the world next season and go on a huge playoff run. But also, with the staff being, solidified, comment down below your record prediction. I know it's very early, but real quick, very early. You don't have to stand by it, but comment down below a record prediction for next season. But without any further ado, meet new defensive coordinator for the LA Chargers, Jesse Minter. Now, a couple of days ago, we talked about how Greg Roman would affect the Chargers offense next year, and we really talked about how he was going to vitally improve the running game. But I think Jesse Minter is on a different level of coaching, and I think he's really going to turn this defense around. Now, before we dive into Jesse Minter, I do want to list some stats off for you guys real quickly for the Chargers defense last year. Now, the Chargers defense was ranked number 23 in points allowed per game, number 28 in yards allowed per game, number 26 in yards allowed per play, number 28 in opposing fourth down conversion percentage, and number 25 in touchdowns allowed per game. The Chargers defense couldn't stop anything. However, Jesse Minter has put together an incredible resume that will help this Chargers defense turn it around. Now, Minter's unit was ranked the top defense in the country in 2023. What that means is this Michigan defense, nobody was better than. He coached this defense up to be the best in the world. And I get it. Listen, I know when you're playing teams like UNLV and you're not playing top tier talent in the NFL every single game, right? I get it. I understand that is, something that is true. However, his ability to coach guys up, put them in the position they need to be, and put his team in positions that they need to be to win football games. Now, one of the most interesting facts about Jesse Minter and even Greg Roman that you guys need to know is they have spent a ton of time with the Harbaugh brothers. Now, what I mean by that is, for example, Greg Roman started off his career in San Francisco as an offensive coordinator with Jim Harbaugh. Then went over to the Ravens to coach for John Harbaugh. Now back in LA under Jim Harbaugh, right? Same thing with Jesse Minter. Started off his NFL career as a DB coach for the Baltimore Ravens. Then found himself back with Jim Harbaugh in Michigan to coach the defense. And now finally where he was meant to be, the Chargers, the defensive coordinator. And now, without any further ado, let's get into the 5 things you need to know about Jesse Minter going forward. However, before we do that, real quickly, do me a big favor, hit that like button just so we can help get this video out to more Chargers fans around the world. But also, subscribe to the channel if you're new. It is free, it doesn't cost anything, and we will be covering the Chargers for the rest of the offseason. What that entails: potential draft selections, potential free agent signings, individual film breakdown, and everything you need to know about the Chargers going forward. But without any further ado, here are the 5 things you need to know. Now, we already really talked about that first interesting fact, him reuniting here with Jim Harbaugh. He's been with the Harbaugh brothers for a while now. They know each other really well. They know each other's coaching style. So I think that is going to be a major factor of the success that we're going to see early on here for the LA Chargers. Now, another very interesting thing, another big thing that we're going to see here is the success that he brought to Michigan. I think he's going to be able to bring it here to the Chargers. We talked a little bit about where the defense ranked last year for the Chargers and how much better they needed to get. I think they can be that good. Now, there are some positions of need, especially in the DB room, but I mean, you talk about a team that has potential, right? You have a guy in Joey Bosa. You have Eric Kendricks. You do have some interesting guys that you might need to bring back in Kenneth Murray and Michael Davis. And, you still have Khalil Mack and Derwin James. Maybe they get rid of him. Who knows what the Chargers could do? And do me a favor real quickly before we get into another interesting fact. Comment down below what are the biggest positions of need for the Chargers going into the offseason. But also, let me know in the comments, do you think they're going to completely rebuild this defense from the top to the bottom and maybe get rid of some of their older guys like a Derwin James or a Khalil Mack? Do you think they will go into a full rebuild, or do you think they're good enough to just make some moves, retool a little bit, and get ready for next season? Let me know what you guys think. Let's get into another fact. Now, this will be Minter's second time in the NFL. His first time in the NFL, he was a DB coach, an assistant coach for the Baltimore Ravens, where he helped them be one of the best defenses in football from 2017 to 2020. I mean, they achieved the NFL's top defensive unit in 2018, allowing just 292 yards per game, which was the first in the NFL, and 17.9 points a game, the second lowest mark in the league. And then the following year, Baltimore's defense allowed the fewest points per game at 17.6 and only 207 passing yards per game. Listen, Jesse Minter, I told you before, he knows how to set up a defense, and I think he's going to bring that experience here to LA, who does need some, retooling, but I feel like this team is going to be miles and miles better than they were last season. Jesse Minter is not new to coaching. He's been doing this for almost 2 decades. He got his start as a defensive intern at Notre Dame back in 2006. Before becoming a defensive graduate assistant at the University of Cincinnati from 2007 to 2008, where he mainly coached the linebackers. And then he would move on to a 4-year stint with Indiana State, first as their linebackers coach for 2 seasons, before being promoted to full-time defensive coordinator from 2011 to 2012. He would help 13 Indiana State players earn all Missouri Valley Football Conference honors and be a factor in 3 straight winning seasons. He then went to Georgia Southern, where he would serve as a defensive coordinator from 2013 to 2016. From there, he went to the Baltimore Ravens for a couple years, coached them up to being one of the best defenses in football, and then went to Vanderbilt for a season, and then found himself back with the Harbaugh brother in Michigan, where he held Michigan's top-rated defense for 2 straight seasons. Guys, I'm telling you, if you wanted a guy to come in here and coach defense, Jesse Minter was the perfect. And I talk about the perfect addition here to the LA Chargers. Not only do I think Greg Roman will officially make this running game a good running game, but also I think Jesse Minter will take one of the worst defenses in the NFL and turn them into a top-rated defense going into next season. Now, let me know in the comments down below, how do you feel about Jesse Minter and this coaching staff? But also, do me a big favor, guys, and check out BetUS. They are my favorite sports, betting app in the world, right? They have a live sports casino, a regular casino, they have horse racing, they have everything you can ask for, right? But also, if you use my promo code in the description, they'll give you free money. And what I mean by that is they'll match your first deposit up to 125%. If you deposit $100, they're going to give you $125 for free, right? Guys, just take the money, take the free money, and go win some more money with it. I mean, it is, it'd be kind of stupid if you guys didn't do it. But also, they just gave away Super Bowl tickets. I just imagine what they're going to do next. Go check it out.